But I left off perhaps the biggest reason why it's getting harder to prepare the budget. So here we go, and it is insane. And I'm telling you, members of the board out there, you will not like it. So here's what the new law says. If a board proposes in any fiscal year an annual budget which requires assessments against unit owners, which exceeds 115% of assessments for the preceding fiscal year, get ready, the board shall simultaneously propose a substitute budget that does not include any discretionary expenditures that are not required to be put in the budget. Let's
What would an
stop.
example be of a
I
discretionary
can't tell you.
expenditure?
The statute really doesn't say what discretionary uh, expenditures are. The substitute budget must be proposed at the budget meeting before the adoption of the annual budget. So the board has to propose the substitute budget to the owners at the meeting before the board votes on either budget.
Okay, so you have one budget that's 115% more than,
Right.
because it's so fat, you have to come up with
With
another
us other
budget that's
at the
leaner.
same time.
That's leaner.
That's leaner.
You have two.
So now, which one? And I have to draft two. It's hard enough to draft one budget. Now you got to draft two. Okay. So now, which one gets adopted at the meeting? Okay. So here's how this works. Unit owners must consider and may adopt a substitute budget at the meeting. A substitute budget is adopted if approved by a majority of all voting interests, unless the bylaws require adoption by a greater percentage of voting interest. If a substitute budget is not adopted, the annual budget previously initially proposed by the board may be adopted. The unit owners now get to vote on whether or not they want. Picture how this is going to go down at the meeting. They get to vote on whether or not they want the cheaper budget or the more expensive budget. But the only way that the lesser expensive budget goes into effect is if a majority of all owners vote in favor of the lesser expensive budget at that meeting.
So they have to decide whether or not they want to give up this discretionary stuff.
Correct.
Which we're not really
And
clear
no one knows what
is
the
that.
discretionary stuff is.